Hi, and welcome to Live with Connie. Please let me know that you're here by leaving a comment in the chat. And if you're watching on replay, I'd like to welcome you. And please leave a comment in the comment section of this video to let me know that you watched on replay. And also feel free to chime in on any of the questions that I ask on this live. And I'm going to wait a few minutes for people to show up. Hey, Crystal, how's it going? What you been up to? I'm getting tongue-tied already. What have you been up to today? And what are you currently working on? And how's your blanket coming? And can you hear and see me okay? Hi, Nightbot. How are you tonight? So you're doing good, Crystal? And you're working on your Tunisian blanket? Ooh, nice. Yeah, I'm trying to save up for my Tunisian crochet hooks, but I'm doing good. Your turtle blanket is coming along nicely too. That's awesome. Okay, you can see and hear me fine. Good, good, good. Yeah, I was working on knitting my socks today, and I'll probably work on them some tonight. And tomorrow, I think I'm going to start on a basic beanie so I can start filming a tutorial on how to knit a basic beanie. And if you're just joining in, please make sure to leave a comment in the chat so I know you're here. Hey, Janice, how are you doing today? And you're wanting to learn Tunisian too? Yeah, a lot of people seem to be into the Tunisian crocheting. And Lisa is here, and she says hi to everyone. How are you doing today, Lisa? And what are you currently working on? So, Crystal, did you find the newest episode of Cruel Summers yet? But they added a new twist to things, which makes me wonder how everything's going to tie together at the end. I'm going to give it a few more minutes before I really get started. Not yet. But yeah, they added something that like you wouldn't have really thought about this angle. And it makes me wonder like where it's going to go with everything. And Lisa says, I'm using Crystal's yarn to make a hat. Woohoo. So she dyed you some hand-dyed yarn, Lisa? But yeah, I'm starting to miss hats. I haven't made a hat in a while. Crystal says, aw. But yeah, I'm like ready for the next episode of Cruel Summers to come out. Oh, okay, she won your Mother's Day giveaway. But I was trying to remember if I remembered her being the winner or not. But I'm not sure. But yeah, I'm ready for the last episode of the season to see how it all ties together. And if you're just joining in, please make sure to leave a comment in the comment section so I know you're here. I'm going to go ahead and ask the first question. Do you plant a yearly garden? If so, what do you plant? And oh, hold on a minute. Crystal says, I don't know why it did not record last night. I don't know. Every now and then my recorder will like record from a channel that I don't get. And I did that, I think, with me on NBC for a while. And I don't know why it all of a sudden started doing that to me. And I would go to watch the recording and it would be like solid black. But it doesn't do it to me anymore. But my first question for y'all is, do you plan a yearly garden? If so, what do you plant? And well, as I've stated before, I do not have a green thumb. I have a black thumb. And I tried to garden. I tried 2 years. And I started off good. But I always had issues with the drainage. And we even like dug this thing that connected all the rows to our garden going out to the ditch. And it helped until we got a lot of rain. There'd be too much water. And then I couldn't get in the garden for a few days. The weeds would start to take over. And it was like I couldn't keep up with the weeds. And I even tried using newspaper mulch. And I mean, it helped, but eventually the weeds still took over. And then, like, whenever it started getting too hot in the summer, me and the heat didn't get along. So I would start not keeping up with it when it got really hot. But after 2 years, I gave up on gardening. And Dana is here. Hey, Dana, how are you doing tonight? And what's new going on in your world? And what are you working on? And Lisa said it was an awesome giveaway. Yeah, I had won one of Crystal's giveaways like quite a while back. And it was one of my favorite giveaways that I won. It was awesome. And that's how I got the hand-dyed yarn that I'm knitting my socks with. And also my crochet hook. They were that was made by Crystal. And let's see. Lisa says, I watered a fake plant, laughing out loud, and growing tomato plants, cucumbers, bell peppers, but my cilantro died. I like that, watered a fake plant. And then it's like either I would water too much, too little. It's never felt like I could get it right. And I even got one of those little gadget things to put in the plants. But I don't know. I don't know what I'm really doing when it comes to gardening and keeping plants alive. And Jill is here. She says she's lurking. Hi, Jill. How are you tonight? And what are you currently working on? And Crystal says we plant early potatoes, green beans, lettuce, sometimes squash and zucchini. And I think that's another thing that I tried to do too much to start off with. I would try to plant a little bit of everything. I mean, I got a few things out of my garden, but it was like early on, and then my plants would start not making it. And Angela's here. Hi, Angela. How are you doing tonight? And what are you currently working on? And she says, tomatoes, cantaloupe, watermelons, cucumbers, pepper, and 5-gallon buckets. And that's one thing I've always said. If I ever did do anything else with gardening, I would try bucket gardening. But I did have, I had a couple of melons that I actually did get to produce. Those are one of the few things that I did actually get like one or two of. And I think once or twice I got like a butternut squash. And I got like, some cucumbers. Cucumbers is what I got the most of. And I had gotten like a few tomatoes, some squash and zucchini, and some okra, and a few, I think, green beans and sugar snap peas. But, my plants started to fizzle out pretty quickly. And let's see, everyone's saying hi. And Lisa says my husband put in a drip in the garden. And Deneen is here, and she's saying hello from Canada. Hi, Deneen. How are you tonight? And what are you currently working on? And Angela says she's working on a cowl. Ooh, nice. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next question for y'all. Do you like camping? And I've never actually been camping. But if I was to go camping, I don't think I could handle like sleeping in a sleeping bag on the ground or like in a tent. Like I would have to be in a camper because I'd be scared of like all the creepy crawly things that would come out at night or like wolves or other animals in the wild or like snakes coming, slithering in on me. Uh-uh. I would not want to experience that part. So I'd want to be more in luxury camping if I went camping. And how about y'all? Denise says I have a lake house, so no camping for me. Ooh, a lake house. I bet you that has to be gorgeous. The scenery and looking at the lake. And Lisa says I love camping. So when you go camping, how do you camping? Do you use a camper or you're in a tent or a sleeping bag? Tell me about your experiences. And Crystal says, yes, I love it. Take an air mattress and you don't have to sleep on the ground. But Steph can still crawl up on the air mattress though. And Lisa says they don't usually come in more populated campgrounds. Yeah, that probably is true. I love it. Oh, and for those that don't know, I have a Facebook group, and if you're not already a member of it, I would love to have you. You can post your knitting, crochet related things, stuff about yarn. If you're a content creator, you can post things to do with your channel. You can post your pets. And I'm really laid back. There's not many rules. And Angela says camper. And Lisa says, we got to the woods. We used double decker mattress and a tent. I'm not brave. Deneen says, I am working on 6 daisy granny square blankets before June 23rd. Ooh, nice. And Dana says she's back and asking how I'm doing. I'm doing good, Dana. How are you today? And what have you been up to? And is Joe still playing kickball? And Crystal says, not if the tent is zipped up. Yeah, that is a good point. That would probably keep the creepy crawlies out. And Dana wants to know how everyone is doing. And Lisa says we swim all day in the lake. We eat, drink, and have fun with the kids. Play core games. That sounds fun. And going swimming, yeah, it's that time. Let's go swimming, everybody. um, and Jill saying she's lurking. And Dana says she's doing great, and we are getting promise accessories. So is Joe getting him something? Poor Joe, I'm picking on him tonight. But I also want to let y'all know, if y'all don't know already, I will be having a live bingo on Wednesday, May 26th at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. So I hope y'all can join in. And I have a video with more details about it, and you can post your number picks on that video. And I encourage you to post your numbers on that video and not wait till the day of, because it makes my job a lot easier on game night. But in case you don't get your numbers in on the video, I will be taking numbers between 6:30 and 6:55 Central Standard Time on the day of bingo. So I hope y'all all can join in, and we're gonna have fun. Oh, and it's called Just Another Bingo. And Jill says, used to camp when riding the motorcycles with my parents. Nice. Oh, yes. Tomorrow I'm doing my Shout Out Thursday video. So if you're a content creator and you would like a shout out, let me know tonight in the. And also, if you know of another channel that you think could use a shout out, let me know that too. And I'll get that all ready for my video tomorrow. And Crystal says, "Oh, that sounds awesome." I guess she's referring to Jill going riding the motorcycles with her parents. And if y'all don't already know, my pink lemonade beanie is on sale on Ravelry for $2. So go check that pattern out. And I also have my Easter plaid beanie on sale for $2 too. And my next question for y'all is, what is your favorite vegetable? I would probably go with butternut squash. I like cutting it up kind of like French fries and doing baked French fries, baked butternut squash fries with them. I also like cucumbers, bell peppers, carrots, like lettuce and baby spinach. I'll eat, like zucchini, squash, but I usually like it like where it's baked, kind of like, baked in the oven. I'm very funny about texture with vegetables. And doing beet chips is good too, if y'all haven't tried that. And this is the link where you can submit your numbers for my bingo if y'all are interested in joining in. Okay. Lisa would like a shout out. Okay. I'm adding you to my list, Lisa. Okay. So I'll get you a shout out tomorrow. And Jill says, Paw Apply Yarns, Daniel, push the button. His channel is the Paw Apply Guys. Okay, let me see. The Paw Apply Guys. Okay, I'll give him a shout out tomorrow. And Deneen says she loves corn. Oh yeah, corn is good too. Corn on the cob especially. Teensy is here. Hi, Teensy. How are you tonight? And she says she's just popping in to say hi. Been working on my Afghan and watching it rain with more rain. I might miss some of your lives, but I'll lurk later. It's okay. Just join in when you can. But yeah, it's been doing a lot of raining here in Louisiana. And especially Lake Charles got a lot of flooding, which is about an hour and a half away from me. And Lafayette got some, but I haven't seen as many pictures online of Lafayette's flooding. So I don't think they got hit as bad as Lake Charles. And so far in my city, we've been good, but it hasn't been raining as much as I thought it would. Like today, it didn't rain too much. But tomorrow is supposed to be the last day of the flood watch, so hopefully we make it out good. And Lisa says asparagus. Yes, asparagus is good. Um, Sprinkle some lemon juice on it. That's really good. And also, if y'all want any of your pictures or, you know, where I would show them on my videos, you can either email them to me at justanotherstitch2020@gmail.com, or you can submit them to me on Facebook, because you can send me your finished projects. And on my knitting videos, if you have any sock pictures, and also your pets. I love pets. I love getting to see everyone's pets. Or like Teensy had submitted pictures like of her yard with a squirrel and a I think it was a woodpecker. So if you have some animal activity in your yard, send me those pictures too. And Crystal says, I love all veggies except green peas, but I love yellow squash and zucchini. And Dana says, yes, I'm so ready. I have to send him in my numbers. So are you gonna win, Dana? I told Jeannie when I submitted my numbers to her that the aliens told me these were the winning numbers. But I'm like, yeah, what? Watch me hardly get any numbers that night. Oh yes, and if you're a content creator and you would like your link dropped, please type CC in the comments, and Crystal will drop your link for you. And Angela says carrots, cucumbers, yellow squash, tomatoes, watermelons. Oh, and watermelons are good, which I'm about to be asking y'all about y'all favorite fruit next. And Teensy says Cushaw is the best. I use my great grandmother's recipe, I guess it is. What is Cushaw? I'm not familiar with that. Oh, yes. Another thing, too, if you're a content creator and you would like to go live with me sometime, let me know that and we can start getting that in the works so you can come live with me. I'd love to have you. And Jill says, poor Lake Charles. Yes. And just last year, they got hit bad with that hurricane. So this is the last thing they needed. And Deneen says, it is supposed to snow on Friday here. It was 31 degrees Celsius here yesterday. Crazy weather. And I can't even imagine snow this time of year. It's like, it's starting to get hot. It won't be long before it's like really hot. Let's see. And Lisa says, I got to go eat now. I guess love you guys, I guess is what she means. Bye, Lisa. I hope you have a good night and enjoy your chow. And Jill says, favorite veggie out of the garden has got to be tomatoes. And another thing, too, if anyone would be interested in being a moderator for my lives, let me know and I'll go ahead and make you a moderator. Because I'm trying to make sure I have coverage all the time on my live videos. Yeah. And Heather is here. Hi, Heather. How are you doing today? Or tonight, actually. And what are you currently working on? And for if y'all don't know Heather, she has a YouTube channel and she's new. So let's help her get to 100 subscribers. Go check her channel out. And Crystal, please drop her link so everyone can check her out. And Heather says hello to everyone. And Dana says Joe is usually the winner. Yes, he does win a lot. I think he has some type of connection to the aliens where like they're giving him the winning numbers. Let's see. Nadine is here. Hi, Nadine. How are you tonight? And what are you currently working on? And for those that are just joining in, the last question I asked is, what is your favorite vegetable? And I'm moving on to the next question too now. Um, so that question is, what is your favorite fruit? Okay, let's see. Everyone's saying hi. And Heather says, it was beautiful here today. Had all my windows open all day, just gorgeous. And you know what? I am jealous. I wish I could say the same here. It's just been like dark and gloomy, and I'm ready for this weather to go away. Because I mean, it starts to affect your mood too. And I'm like, I want to feel more chipper and happy. And Crystal says, for some weird reason, I cannot see Teensy's comments. That's weird. Did anyone else have trouble seeing her comments? And here's one of her comments. It says, Teensy says, a type of squash, crooked neck, green stripe. Oh yeah, I've seen those type of squash. I like them. I think they're neat. And they also have the butternut squash that are sometimes like that with the green stripes. And then there's another type of squash. Oh, I'm trying to remember the name of it. And one year I actually found it at our Walmart, and I haven't been able to find it since. But I can't think of the name of it. And that's like, have y'all ever tried cotton candy grapes? They're good, but they're very sweet. And Nadine says her favorite vegetable is, is butter beans. Butter beans. Okay, I got it now. It's butter beans. And she says, oh my goodness. And unfortunately, I do not like beans. I don't like any type of beans. Okay, so you see Teensy now? Good, good, good. Okay. And Carrie is here. Hi, Carrie. How are you today? And Carrie has the cutest rabbits. And like, I love how she's been sending pictures of her rabbits. And they're just beautiful. And then she has Jelly Bean, which is a giant rabbit. And then she's also been crocheting little stuffed animal type rabbits too. And Heather says, I'm good. Lost track of my time writing, but I'm hoping to finish an Amaguruni this week. We will see. And you know, sometimes I worry about losing track of time when it comes to going live. But I'm the type that, like, if I know something's coming up, I keep watching the clock. But I am still like waiting for the day that something happens where I forget or something. Nadine says my favorite veggie is butter beans. And let's see. Okay. And this is Heather's link right here. So yeah, y'all go check it out and go support Heather. And Heather says veggie cucumber, probably. Love putting them in my water. Fruit raspberries. Yeah, putting fruits and vegetables like that in water is good. And I like cucumbers. I sprinkle them with balsamic vinegar. I like them like that. And Dana says my favorite veggie is potato. My favorite fruit is apple. And I like sweet potatoes. Cut them up like either chips or French fries. Bake them in the oven. Those are good. And also, if you bake apples too, that's good too. And put some cinnamon on them and some like stevia. That's good. And Nadine says my favorite fruit is leech. Do you mean peaches? And I just realized I never gave y'all my answer on my favorite fruit. Mine is satsumas. And if you don't know what satsumas are, it's kind of like an orange or a tangerine. But I find they're easy. They're easy to peel, but they don't have as many seeds in them like a tangerine does. But I love them. But really, I love pretty much all fruit. The only fruit that I don't like is cherries, and I really don't like pineapple. But like I'll use like the juice in cooking, or sometimes I'll cook dishes, but I use the crushed pineapple. I don't like the chunks. And Jill says grapes, yes. And I just got some grapes yesterday from the grocery store. I need to get into them too. Oh, kiwi. Do y'all like kiwi? I think I got 12 kiwi yesterday. I stocked up on fruit. And Heather says, oh, yeah, I could not handle the constant cloudy rain drizzle in Washington. It seemed like it was sunny one week a year west of Puget Sound. Yeah, I really don't like rainy weather. Dana says she forgot about grapes. Oh, yeah. And have y'all ever done frozen grapes? Frozen grapes are awesome. And if y'all haven't, y'all got to try it. Or frozen bananas are good too. And Angela says grapes, apples, oranges, bananas. Crystal says acorn squash. Yeah, acorn squash is good. But the squash I'm thinking of, it was a different one. Oh, it starts with a D. Delica something. I don't quite have it. And Jill says 10 grapes is 100 calories. But grapes also can be filling too. And if you do them frozen, you won't eat them as quickly and as fast too. And Carrie says the canary melon is awesome. Our bunnies like it as a treat too. Yeah, the melon's honeydew, cantaloupe, watermelon. Melons are good. So am I making y'all hungry talking about all these fruits? And Crystal says my favorite fruit, I guess, would be apples. Yeah, and I also sometimes like sprinkling cinnamon on just like regular slices of apples. Heather says really, and it's like yeah, I think usually like whenever I did Weight Watchers, a serving of grapes I think was 15 grapes that they would let us have for a serving. You really can't eat a lot of them, but like I said, if you freeze them, then it's more like a treat, and you won't eat them as fast. Nadine says, I completed Dana's all shelled up poncho. Ooh, nice, nice, nice. Isn't that the one you just sent me the picture of? I know you had sent me a picture of a poncho and it was gorgeous. I think it was Dana's. So now I am working on my driftwood tee, which is yay for yarn pattern. I let it back out. I let it back out of time. I let it back out of timeout. Okay, I got it now. And Heather says apple chips are fantastic. And she also loves cherries. For some reason, I've never liked cherries, but I know most people like them. And Dana says apple chips are the bomb. Crystal says she likes kiwi. So does Heather. Teensy says definitely cherries and pear salads. Ooh, pears are good. And Heather is asking if avocado is a fruit since it grows on a tree and has a pit. I'm not sure. I think that one may actually be considered a fruit. I know there's a few that kind of, it's like on that borderline, like tomatoes. Because I think tomatoes is actually a fruit, I think. But most people consider it a vegetable. And Dana says, yes, kiwi. Dana says, I'm not a fan of rainy weather. So anyone that's a fan of rainy weather, if y'all like to take the rain that we've been getting, y'all can have it. Take it, take it. No, I don't want anyone to flood. But we haven't flooded, so we're doing good here. Heather says, my teeth are too sensitive for frozen grapes. Yeah, but they are really good though. Okay, Nadine says leeches are a small pink fruit with sweet perfume, white flesh, and a small brown seed. I've never heard of them. Let me get me a sip of my water. Really, it's raspberry lemonade. It's water with drink mix. And Dana says, I have never had frozen grapes. Oh, you got to try them, Dana. Joe says he is full. Dana, you should ask Joe why he didn't let me go play kickball with him. Tell him I wanted to play. Heather says, I love rainy weather in Colorado because I know it only lasts a couple hours max usually. It's like, I've never been big on rain. And Teensy says, have you tried fruit pizza? My daughter wants to know, have you had the grapes that taste like cotton candy? Yeah, and I had brought up the cotton candy grapes. I've tried them. They are good, but they're really sweet. I don't think I've actually had fruit pizza, but I have heard of it. And Jill says, not crazy about kiwi, but I like all fruit and all the veggies except okra, which I do like okra. Like I'll put that sometimes in like gumbo or stews. And Heather says battered deep fried okra is fantastic. Probably not healthy though. And Crystal loves fried okra. Heather says it goes great with barbecue. Dana says no okra for me either. And Heather says, is that your grandma? GMA, I'm not sure. Used to have cherry trees when she lived at a lower elevation. I guess they are non I never can say that word right, but y'all know what I mean. and my mom makes the best cherry pie. Awesome. We have oh, I can't think of what you call the mulberry tree. We have a mulberry tree in our yard. And Heather says, yeah, I think because tomato carries seeds. And Jill says avocado and tomatoes are fruit. Potato is a starch. Yes, potatoes are very starchy. And Heather says, we had a huge downpour the other day that lasted maybe 10 minutes. I love that sunshine after the rain. No, like here, after it rains, it gets more humid, it gets hot and sticky, and then it gets hotter. Like initially it rains and it cools off some, but then it just gets hotter. And Dana says, I love my starchy taters and corn, laughing out loud. Yeah, and corn's real starchy too. Dana says, but if we are speaking green veggie, I will say greens and broccoli. Which, like, I like broccoli and stir fries, but I can't handle eating a lot of broccoli. It tends to tear my stomach up. And Heather says mashed taters from scratch is so good. My husband will only buy the box flakes though. Yeah, I like I make a lot of stuff from scratch, and scratch is the making stuff from scratch is the best. And Heather says I need to find a synonym for nonchalant so I don't make you say it. Yeah, for some reason I don't know, certain words I struggle with pronouncing properly. But I mean, I know what it means and I know what the word is. And Granny D is here. Hey, Granny D, how are you tonight? And what are you up to? Sorry, Frank made me go on your live. And Teensy says, graham cracker crust, cool while and sliced fruit chilled. Oh yeah, like the icebox type pies. Those are good. You want to say hi, Frank? Yeah. Frank says hi. Okay. Let's see. Everyone's saying hey. And Jill says, I could eat that whole pie. Yeah, pies are dangerous. And Dana says, my husband loves box taters. He has texture issues. Me too, Dana. Me too. I am so funny about the textures of certain foods, and especially vegetables. And like whenever I was younger, I hardly ate any vegetables. So I've come a long, long way when it comes to eating vegetables. And I guess I can give Frank credit for that, but don't tell him. So I'm going to go ahead and ask the next question. What is your favorite rainy day activity? Speaking of rain, and I figure a lot of us will probably say the same thing, which would be either crochet and knitting. And usually I'll watch TV. Like sometimes I'll watch Lifetime if it's the weekends. Or if I have one of my TV shows recorded, I'll watch that. And I was watching Heartland, but I finally got caught up on it. And I am not happy with season 14. And let me know if y'all watch Heartland in the comments. But yeah, season 14 is a tearjerker. And all I'm going to say is I so did not see this coming. And let's see. Heather says, I'm picky about my textures too. Can't do orange juice with pulp. But you see that doesn't bug me. But like it's like vegetables, like potatoes. I'll eat French fries. I'll eat French fries baked. But like I will not eat like boiled potatoes or mashed potatoes or a baked potato. But and with I'll eat French fries baked, but I don't eat a baked potato because I find it's just too mushy. It's like I don't understand myself sometimes. And whenever I was in kindergarten, I was such a picky eater that most of the time I wouldn't touch the cafeteria food. And back then, they made us eat in the cafeteria. They wouldn't let us bring our lunch. And one day the cafeteria lady got mad at me and she told me that I couldn't leave the cafeteria until I ate something off my plate. So I'm sitting there and I'm stubborn. I can be so stubborn. So don't you know, I refuse to touch anything. So here it comes around 2, 3 o'clock when she's ready to leave. And she's just like, just go back to your classroom. And you can tell she was so mad. And then they started bribing me with stickers to eat something, when it came to lunchtime. Let's see. Granny D says, just hanging out with y'all a bit while I take a break from stitching for a bit. So what are you? Oh, you're doing the moss stitch, aren't you, Granny D? Yeah. Heather's asking too, wants to know what you're stitching. And Heather says writing or reading, also crochet, also Netflix and chill. And Angela says crochet and knitting. See, I already knew there would be a lot of crochet knitting answers. And even watching TV. Heather says she doesn't watch Heartland and wants to know if it's any good. Yes, I love the show. And it's like it's really a good like family show. You know, it's one of the cleanest shows you'd probably find on TV. And I mean, it just, it's centered on a ranch where they have horses and stuff. But like, they have good storylines, you just have to watch it. And Granny D says knitting and crocheting and find a good movie when I'm not busy watching my buddies' videos and or lives. Yeah, and that's another thing too, because sometimes I'm also watching YouTube videos. And let's see. Jill says falling asleep while knitting or crocheting, right? When it's raining. And Granny D says, I love taters any kind of way. And Teensy says, I love cleaning when weather is raining. And I'm also not happy with where Heartland went this year. Yes, tell me about it. Because it's like season 13 ended and everything was okay. And then that first episode of season 14, bam. Which I don't want to say what happens for those of you that may watch the show and haven't gotten to the episode yet, or y'all may start watching it. But yeah, tearjerker. Let's see. Jill said that happened to me when I was little. I hate milk and they didn't have alternatives back in the day. And yes, I was so glad once I got to first grade I could bring my lunch. It was like, goodbye, cafeteria food. And Granny D says, I'm crocheting moss stitch rectangular wraps and knitting triangle shawls. And Heather says, I like to use the phonetic alphabet to curse without cursing. Fox, oh, well, I'm not going to get into that. Okay, so I'm caught up on the comments, so I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next question. And it's another food question. So, am I making y'all hungry tonight? So, do you prefer your chicken fried, baked, or barbecue? And I prefer barbecue. I tend not. I'm not a big fan on greasy foods. So I don't like a lot of fried foods. I know I'm odd. And baked chicken, I've never been that fond of baked chicken. I like my chicken like in dishes and stuff. But I'll go with barbecue. And it's almost that time of year to start the barbecuing. Let's see. Oops, the comments jumped. Nadine says, I am glad it's beautiful where you are. It's wonderful when the weather cooperates. Yes. And I wish we would start getting some beautiful weather again. But like I said, that hot weather, it's just around the corner, and I am not looking forward to it being hot. Heather says baked or barbecue as long as it doesn't turn out too dry. And Marshally is here, and she says hi to everyone and wants to know what's up. Not that much is going on. It's been a quiet day today. Knitted on my socks some, and now I'm doing my live. And I'll probably watch some TV and do some knitting tonight before I go to bed. So how are things going with you, Marshally? Granny D says, fell asleep while knitting, and the other same, but with crocheting. So was that what she was actually spelling? I thought she was saying something else. Oh yeah, she was saying something else. Okay. Let's see. Heather says, yes, Colorado is beautiful most of the time, but we do get extreme weather. And TC says, I'm popping out. Got a clean kitchen so I can go back to crocheting. Have a great night. Can't wait till bingo. And I hope you have a good night, Team C. And bye. And yes. Are y'all ready for some bingo next? I think it's next Wednesday. Yeah, next Wednesday. Are y'all ready for bingo? And who do y'all think has the winning? That's going to have the winning numbers? Will it be Joe again? And Angela says barbecue and air fryer. Yeah, yes, the air fryer is awesome for chicken. And let's see. Crystal says barbecue chicken. And Heather says that's not what my brain read. Good to know. And Heather says the weather here changes fast too. And I'm curious, any of y'all into like watching true crime stuff? Like, I've always liked watching like 48 Hours or Dateline. I love Kendall Ray on YouTube. And Brooke McKenna is another good one. And then I'm trying to think of it. I think Danielle Halem or something like that. She's good. And there's another one. Her last name is Howell. I can't think of her first name. But yeah, I love watching true crime stuff. And like, I don't know if y'all know or not, but they finally made an arrest on Kristen Smart's killer. So they finally arrested that guy. Okay, sorry about that. Granny D says she's slow. Just read your comments above. It's okay, Granny D. And Heather says, I watch Mr. Ballin here on YouTube. He does true crime and also supernatural. Did a great video on Skinwalker Ranch. I don't think I've heard of him. And Crystal said, I saw it that way too, Heather, but I knew Jill and Dee were talking about falling asleep, so I figured it out. Like, be right back or talk to you later. Nadine says, yes, I watch a ton of true crime. Oh, yeah, because it's like, like, I don't know if y'all heard about the girl that they found dead in a freezer. And a lot of people, foul play was involved, which, I mean, no one knows 100%, but it doesn't really look like it was, where she basically got too intoxicated, and some of her friends had gone back to the room where there was a party going on to get something. So the girl was left behind, and she just starts walking the halls of the hotel. And then when her friends came back, they couldn't find her anywhere. And like, the hotel people weren't any help. They weren't even willing to pull up the video. And they had to get the police involved to finally get the hotel to see. And the sad thing is, if they would have checked their cameras, they may have found her in time. That's what's so sad in this. But they found her in the kitchen freezer, and she didn't make it. And like, but they show her where she wandered into that kitchen herself, and nothing looked like suspicious or anything. And more than likely, what happened was she was intoxicated. It was dark in there, and she couldn't get the door back open. And I mean, it's sad what happened. And Heather says, check out Mr. Ballin. He's great. I'm going to have to check him out. Crystal says she's not big on true crime. And she says she'll be right back. And Granny D's getting back to stitching, so she'll be lurking. And Heather says Mr. Ballin did a video on that girl, but a while ago, so obviously before they arrested him. Yeah, a lot of people have done videos on Kristen Smart, and it's like it took them 25 years to arrest the guy, and they always had him as a suspect. That's the crazy thing. And it took somebody, a podcaster doing a podcast to finally get the attention on the case, where I guess, I don't know if they already had enough evidence or if they stumbled across something new, but they finally got him. So that's awesome that they got him, that is. So I'm going to ask my next question for y'all. Do you prefer a Poi Boy or a wrap? And if you don't know what a Poi Boy is, it's really just a sandwich on like French bread. But I would go with a Poi Boy because I find them more filling than wraps usually are. And like, a good roast beef. Poi Boy, oh, that's good. So what would y'all prefer? I'm thirsty. Does a wrap. She thinks, uh-oh, you're not sure of yourself, Heather? Maybe I should get a Poi Boy and put it right in front of you. See if that changes your mind. And Sandra says a wrap too. Hi, Sandra. How are you tonight? And what are you currently working on? And let's see. And as I told y'all earlier, coming up next Wednesday. I hope y'all all can make it. And if you haven't already joined my Facebook group, check out my Facebook group. And it's linked in the description box of this video. And also submit your pictures of finished projects, socks, and your pet pictures. And I can include that in an upcoming video. And let's see. Angela says sandwiches. Oh yeah, I love like my sandwiches toasted with the cheese melted. A good shrimp Poi Boy. Ooh yeah. And let's see. Oh yes, and if anyone is looking for being shouted out on my Shout Out Thursday video, let me know that. Or if you know of another channel that could use a shout out. Heather says she's cooking, so she'll be in and out. And Jill says she prefers muffalata. And the only thing I've never cared about with muffalatas is they usually have mayonnaise on them. And I don't do mayonnaise. And Sandra says she's lurking and making some coconut sugar cakes. Ooh, nice. And Crystal says she is back. And the last question I asked Crystal, and or those that didn't hear me previously, do you prefer a Poi Boy, which is a sandwich basically like on French bread, or a wrap? And I think I'm going to ask one more question tonight, and then I'm going to go ahead and wrap up. Do you prefer to receive a purchase gift or a handcrafted one? And this is a tough one because it really depends on what it is. And like handcrafted has more meaning behind it because someone took a lot of time and effort to make it for you. But in the same aspect, it also, it has to be something that I'm going to like too, or that I'm interested in. So that's why I say it depends on what it is. But a purchase gift, I mean, it also depends too, because it could be something you have no interest in, and it might be something that you really, really want. So I'm like 50-50 on this question. And Crystal says rap compared to a Poi Boy. And Crystal says handcrafted. Yeah, like I said, these handcrafted, people really do put a lot of time and effort into it. And Heather says, that is tough. My mom cross stitched me and my husband a Star Wars thing and a Harry Potter thing, and they ended up being really cool. And yeah, that's the thing. Sometimes, those handcraft gifts are awesome. But like, you know, say they stitched you something that you weren't into, you wouldn't view it the same way, even though they put a lot of effort into it. Angela says a purchased gift. And Dana says that is horrid. I love both. Yeah, that one was a tough one. And like I said, it really depends on what it is. And kind of like, do you prefer to get a gift or a gift card? And yeah, so in picking out a gift for you, there's more thought behind it. But in the same aspect with a gift card, you can get whatever you want. So you know that you can really get something that you really want. And with that purchase gift, you may be like, I don't really care for this. And Heather says purchase gift can be just as bad or good, though. Yeah, they can be. Let's see. But yeah, let's see. So tomorrow I'll be doing my Shout Out Thursday video. Friday will be Knitting Friday. And Saturday I'll be going live again at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. So I hope y'all can make that live. And Jill says, I like handcrafted yarn, laughing out loud. Yes. I wish I had more hand dyed yarn than what I have. but but yeah, that's what's coming up. And tomorrow I'm hoping to start working on my beanie tutorial for a basic beanie. I know I've been saying that I was going to do it, and it's taken me forever, but I'm going to try to start working on that tomorrow. Let's see. And then probably around June 1st, I will start working on my patriotic scarf that I plan to design. So be looking out for that coming soon. I hope I have everything ready to go before the 4th of July for it. And Crystal says, if a person knows you well enough, a purchase gift can be great, but if they don't know, then may not be something they like. Same with handcrafted. Yeah, really, that is true. And Julie is here. Hi, Julie. I'm just about to wrap things up. but I was gonna say, when it came to gifts, I know one year, you know how you do those work gift exchanges, and really, and ever since this happened to me, I really have never been a fan of them since. But like, we had to pick names to get someone else a gift, and of course I picked someone that I really got someone that I really didn't know, and the things that they had like on their list, were not easy things, especially when you don't know what someone's style is. They put like, like nightgowns, robes, slippers, and and I mean, I had no idea what her taste was. Like me, I like cutesy things, but there's a lot of people that aren't into that. So I tried to find, I'm looking, and the only thing that like I came across that I thought was kind of a more neutral thing was a robe. Like it was kind of like a white robe. So I went ahead and got her that. And the day that, like, she got it, and she, it's like, she didn't thank me, and I could tell by her reaction that she didn't care for it. But the irony is that later on, like, she actually went to use it, and then she came back up to me and basically admitted how initially she didn't like it. But then when she actually went to wear it, she actually ended up liking it. But it's just like, but when it comes to buying gifts that you don't know a person well enough, I don't like that. Julie said she fell asleep. Let's see. Heather says, we do that at work. I hate when I get someone I don't know because all year I've been planning for the people I do know, laughing out loud. Yes. Or like even sometimes like the like white elephant game where you either pick a gift or steal from someone else, which those games can be fun. But the sad thing, especially guys, tend to get the raw end of the deal in those games because everyone seems like they buy female gifts more and don't think about gifts that would include the guys. Like, but there's always those people that get stuck with a gift that they really have no use for or didn't like. Because, and actually, one time at a work one with the white elephant game, a guy ended up with makeup. And Marshall says, for me, it doesn't matter. It's the thought that counts, and I prefer a sandwich. And really, it really is the thought that counts. And that's, I mean, even if I don't care for something, I always try to make sure I thank somebody. But I don't agree when someone don't even thank someone for the gift. And Marshall says, feeling a bit frustrated, but I'm doing good. Oh, I'm sorry you're not having a good day. I hope it gets better. And Crystal says she's sorry to hear that, Marshall. But yeah, I'm caught up with everything now, and I think I'm gonna go ahead and call it a night. So I hope y'all all have a wonderful night. Have a fabulous Yorny day tonight. But the rest of the day and tomorrow too. Have a fabulous Yorny day. Be the light and bye.